got to figure it out. They got to figure out what the coverage is. They got to figure out where the blitz is coming from. And in your first two series of the game, you load the box. You let the quarterback figure out what's coming. Is it a blitz? Is it coverage? We don't know. You're going to have to figure it out. And with that, then you know, okay, can this quarterback come to the line of scrimmage and can he figure out what we are doing to him? If he cannot, if he comes to the line of scrimmage and you're showing an all-out blitz look and he runs the play because that's the only thing he knows how to do is take the call from the sideline, bring it to the line of scrimmage and run the play, then you know, okay, well, we can pretty much do what we want with this guy and he's not going to be able to figure it out. So Bill Belichick is the master at game planning each and every week. It's going to be a different game plan. And when you play a rookie, you want to make them figure it out. And RC knows this because he's in the secondary. You do not show your hand and you make them figure out the coverages. They have a veteran secondary and they'll be able to do that.
That video you just saw, by the way, was Rob Ninkovich sacking a then rookie Jared Goff. It's very modest of you not to point that out, but I decided to do it. Bart, you look skeptical. What is with the skeptical look on your face, Bart Scott?
Because when you have numbers, you can push whatever narrative you want. The reality is most times when a team has a rookie quarterback starting, it's because they're the best player on the team. You think about they're usually on the team that pick low in the draft and they have a horrible team. I remember going against Bill Belichick and Tom Brady, with a Mark Sanchez. Didn't matter, right? You want to know why? Because he was on a good football team. Tua Tagovailoa is on a good football team. So I don't think he's going to have any problem looking at the team and looking at the tape in which the Patriots represented themselves against the Rams the previous week. You think about this secondary win blow for blow with the best, arguably the number one offense in the game. This is going to be like a week off. This is going to be like going against the scout team. Cam Newton has a 78 QBR, 10 interceptions. I'm not worried about anything that the Patriots offense has to present to the Miami Dolphins defense. Flores understands all the Jedi mind tricks that Bill has. We all understand he's a Sith Lord, but he's out of moves. He has no more moves on the chessboard, and it's time for Miami to claim their stake and say, you know what, this is our division now. We have a much better quarterback than you have.
That would really be something. RC, who do you think wins this game?
I think it's the Miami Dolphins, but I'm mad at Bart because I held that back during the morning meeting, and he didn't say it either, so I figured I was about to come on here and wow y'all with the fact that rookies play for sorry teams. But no, Bart busted out before me. Good job, bro. I'm with you.
Great minds think alike.
But you look on the other side of it, hey, you know what I'm saying? You look on the other side of it, though, and you see Tua Tagovailoa and that team. You watch what Tua Tagovailoa had to do in the second half of last week's game against the Kansas City Chiefs. I felt like he grew up. The other part of it is when you see this man under pressure, when Tua Tagovailoa has played for Nick Saban, when he's been in some of the pressure situations that he's been in throughout his career, he's not your normal rookie. He also grew up in this 7-on-7 arena of football in high school, so he's seen different things. He's thrown a lot of footballs, and he's also playing for the better team, as Bart said. And what is the New England Patriots offense going to do against a Miami Dolphins defense that plays like we normally see the New England Patriots? And so this isn't the same New England Patriots team. Nico's not walking through that door. Teddy B is not walking through that door. Ronnie Harrison is not walking through that door. And so when you look at what this team is facing, I think the Miami Dolphins have an opportunity to win this game and win this game going away late.
Well, that would really be something, and it's obviously one they desperately need as they're fighting with Baltimore for that final wild card spot. I'll just throw into the conversation, Justin Herbert's not on a great team, but he has had a brilliant season, and Belichick just annihilated him a few weeks ago. Let's keep a close eye on this one. Meanwhile, tomorrow's devastating blow to the Raiders' playoff chances, win it 30-27 in overtime, and after that performance, Justin Herbert placing himself in elite company. He has 27 passing touchdowns on the season. That is tied with Baker Mayfield for the most by a rookie in NFL history. He has passed Peyton Manning, he has passed Russell Wilson, and he seems like a sure bet to take that lead himself. Meanwhile, Diana Rossini, let's run the hurry up with some other quarterback news. What is up with Matthew Stafford?
Yeah, all eyes on him. He is dealing with rib injuries that he suffered against the Green Bay Packers. He hasn't practiced at all this week. And earlier in the week, when I talked to sources there, they felt really optimistic. They continue to feel optimistic because they're confident that Matthew Stafford doesn't need to practice this week in order to play. But we know with rib injuries, it really is a day-to-day situation. So as of right now, he is questionable, but there's a feeling there that he will most likely be able to go. If he can't, it'll be Chase Daniel. Meantime, Carolina cannot catch a break with Christian McCaffrey. Again, he is dealing with multiple different injuries. He's been listed as doubtful for Saturday's game against the Green Bay Packers. No word as to whether or not the Panthers organization is going to shut down McCaffrey, because it just looks like it's not going to get any better. But meantime, you got the Washington football team looking to win 5 in a row when they welcome the Seattle Seahawks to town. And they were very optimistic this last week about Alex Smith being able to play. He's dealing with a calf injury that popped up before the game last week. All week long, he has not practiced. But I was told today that they are not feeling as optimistic as earlier in the week. Of course, if Alex cannot go, we're going to see Dwayne Haskins in there starting against Seattle.
All right, yeah, and that's obviously a critical game for Washington with the lead over the Giants in the NFC East. And Diana, let me ask you about the Giants. We saw Daniel Jones come back last week. He was so limited. What is the latest on who starts for the Giants Sunday night against Cleveland?
Greeny, today is a gigantic day for Daniel Jones in terms of his health and whether or not this coaching staff feels that he is strong enough and ready to go. There was video on Wednesday of him stretching, working out with the team, that small window that the media is allowed to be at, and he just looked okay. And of course, this was Wednesday. Thursday practice was canceled, which is why today is so important to see how he's recovered from that Wednesday practice, but also where he's at. Because remember, he's dealing with 2 injuries. We got a hamstring, which always sort of lingers, that never 100% heals. And he's also dealing with a sprained ankle that he suffered during the game. So today we should know more about Daniel Jones. And of course, if he can't go, it's Colt McCoy.
So let me quickly ask RC and Bart about this one here. RC, let's talk about it. What is your sense, having seen what we saw last week in what was a disappointing loss for the Giants? Who do you think should start?
Listen, a hobbled Daniel Jones is a horse that should stay in the pasture, a horse that you shouldn't let get out and run. Listen, when he can go, he's a thoroughbred. He's one of the more athletic quarterbacks in this league. But if he can't, let's go with Colt McCoy. And I know people are going to say, okay, it's Colt McCoy. He's much more miniature pony than he is Colt. But when you don't have a Daniel Jones that can move, if you don't have a Daniel Jones that can create in the pocket, now you open him up to his turnover issues. Now guys can get to him, put hats on him, and allow him and give themselves a chance to get the ball out on Daniel Jones. He makes you a worse team when he can't move, when he can't maneuver, when he can't add to the run game. And so I say go with Colt McCoy, allow Wayne Goldman in that run game to lead you, and play defense on the other side of the football. Because Daniel Jones, when he's a dual threat quarterback, is a solid football player, a football player that can win you games. A one-leg Daniel Jones can't do anything but lose football games for you, and we saw him do that last week against the Cardinals.
So, Bart, let me ask you, you cover this team closely every day on your radio show on ESPN Radio New York, going national in a couple of weeks. Do you, after that disappointing loss last week, do you still believe the Giants can win this division?
It's going to be tough because they have to go through 2 teams in which it's going to be tough sledding against. You think about the Cleveland Browns, they have playoff aspirations. Also, you think about they have the Baltimore Ravens after that. The only homecoming game they have left is the Dallas Cowboys. To RC's point, if you can't really go in. I thought they went all in with Daniel Jones because they thought the game that they could win was the Cardinals and the Cowboys. And the 1st to 7 in this division is probably going to lock this division up. This is time to have the talk. And I know it's an uncomfortable situation in which we have with players, but it's time to say, listen, we're all in. We only need you to get us 1 or maybe 2. We might have to shoot that thing up. You're going to be sore. It's going to hurt you later on. We don't know if you're going to tear something. But if we can get to the postseason, win a divisional title, it may be time to have that Toradol talk and maybe that pain shot talk. And that's just the reality of the NFL.
Yeah, I mean, that's been a part of football for a very long time. We'll wait and see. Obviously, Diana will keep us posted. Meanwhile, let's talk about another game this weekend. It is a well-known fact that Bill Belichick feasts on rookie quarterbacks, and he gets another shot at one Sunday against Tua and the Dolphins. Here's what he has done. In 2018, Belichick's defense held Josh Allen to 217 yards, picked him off twice in a win over the Bills. The very next week, New England hammered the Jets and their rookie at the time, Sam Darnold, 38-3. They sacked him 4 times, forced a fumble in the process. Last year, they played Daniel Jones and the Giants. They won that game by 3 touchdowns, held Jones to less than 50% completion, worst of his career. And then just 2 weeks ago, you might remember, they destroyed the Chargers, 45-0. Justin Herbert, it's the only bad game he's had. They sacked him 3 times, and they picked him off twice. So there's just something about Belichick.